dancing in the bathroom. So I grew up in a Christian home. My grandfather was the pastor of our church for over 40 years. My dad is, you guys would say, the worship pastor. We say the minister of music at our church still to this day for over 30 years. Being growing up in a church, maybe this is some of your testimony, but church became predictable after a while, right? And we think that we knew kind of what worship is. Worship is singing with all your heart. Worship is lifting your hands. Worship is clapping. That's worship. And so growing up in church, I had to be involved in a lot of different things. And I didn't know that even in this experience, that God would be teaching me more about worship. And so growing up in church and being involved, I was involved in the usher board. I was involved in Sunday school. I was involved in the youth ministry and the children's ministry. I was involved in all of the choirs, even the old people choir. And that sucked. And as I began to be involved in all these different things, I can say I wasn't really engaged in church. So one day, my dad organized for the sign language ministry, actually, to be leading worship then. And they did a song in sign language. And then I had my epiphany. Oh, my best friend was in the sign language choir, and I said, I could learn sign language, and then I wouldn't get in trouble for talking in church. So that's exactly my motivation for learning sign language. And so I learned sign language, and I picked it up very quickly, and I became pretty good at that. And even the deaf people, and as I immersed in deaf culture, were like, you're really good at this, and I can really understand what you're saying and how you're expressing it. So fast forward. About the time that I really became serious about my faith, my dad asked me and a couple of friends to gather around and choreograph a dance for a musical. But he asked us to do a gospel mime. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced gospel mime. It's kind of like the picture back there. You're expressive. And this, I didn't wear the makeup, but usually I wear white makeup to help express myself and dance. So I'd seen it done before, but I had never done it before. Long story short, we did it in a short period of time, and it was amazing. People were worshiping with us as we were dancing in church. It was something it's hard to explain. And so after that experience, shortly after, say it was Easter or something, my dad said, hey, can you guys do that again? But this time was different. One by one, each of my friends started to fall out of the dance. Then, as I found myself right before a dance practice, it happened to be just me. And so here I am in my sanctuary, the bathroom, and I'm practicing and preparing for dance practice. And as I'm practicing, I'm beginning to get frustrated because I just can't get it right. And I really want this to be good. And I'm trying to do it, but I can't. So I become so frustrated, and feelings of inadequacy became to rush over me. I don't know if you've ever been there. And then memories of why I'm not a good dancer, trying out for the high school hip hop dance and being made fun of when I was trying to do the dance. And I laid on the floor and I said, God, I need your help. And I was crying. And I couldn't admit to my dad, I can't do this because I'm a perfectionist, because I can do all things good, because I never quit what I can do. But yet in that moment, I wanted to quit. So on the bathroom floor, I totally surrendered to God. And I said, God, I know that I need you, and I know I can't do this without you, but I know you've told me to do this, but I don't know how. And as I began to pray, God said, get up. So I turned the music back on, and I started to sign. And then as I began to sign, I started to move even bigger. And as I began to move, I started to worship God through dance. And the experience of that worship, the experience with God in the bathroom at that moment, altered my life. Because from that moment, God showed me that no matter what he's called me to do, he's empowered me to do just that. And the Holy Spirit moved through me in that moment. So whether that's talking in a presentation to our administration, whether that's counseling with family and my job, whether that's having a conversation with my husband, God reminds me, stop, seek me, trust me, and I'll be with you in that moment. Because really, for me in that moment, I realized true worship means surrender. And surrendering to God is exactly what he's called us to do in our life. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this message. Biola University offers a variety of biblically centered degree programs, ranging from business to ministry to the arts and sciences. Learn more at biola.edu.